Hey, tubies! It's Psychic Bob. Well, welcome to Thursday. It's Seance Thursday. It's so good to be back with you. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. We had Wiccan Wednesday, and we talked about drawing down the moon. If you didn't see that video, you need to check that out. That's in the queue right before this video. So I hope you'll check it out. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, let's see. We got a lot of people. Oh, there's Karen Bryan. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Welcome. There's Baroness Kolbob. She's our moderator tonight. Thank you, Baroness. Everybody give a big shout out. She's going to stand guard over the chat, make sure everybody's safe. Thank you, Baroness, for your service. There's Stardust C is here. There's Laura M is here. Kimmy's here. Oh my gosh. There's Simba is here. Oh my gosh, there's Kate Pigeon is here. Isn't that wonderful? Gosh, everybody's over here. Thank you so much. You guys are rocking it. Thank you very, very much. I am so excited that you're here. Welcome to our show tonight. You guys are rocking it, and I am so happy. Golly gee, everybody's gathering tonight. Isn't it wonderful? Well, I am thankful you're here, and tonight, we're going to do a seance. I haven't done a seance in a while. Just, I've been so busy. I've had to take some breaks. But I didn't want to miss tonight being with you guys and opening the door. For those of you who are new here, I'm Psychic Bob, and I am a full-time professional psychic medium. And I was trained in the Spiritualist Church, and I'm a medium. And what that means is that I work with the spirit world. I bring over messages from the other side. And tonight we're going to do what is known as trance channeling or trance mediumship. This is where I put myself into an altered state, a trance state, and then spirit people will overshadow my consciousness and use my physical body to speak to you. Now, if you've never seen trance channeling, it may be a little strange. And the first time I saw it, I was kind of shocked by it. When I was in the spiritual church, we used to gather and go to mediums' homes and have seances, and we'd have seance circles at the church. And I loved it. I was always amazed because the spirit people would come through the mediums and always have amazing help for people that were at the seance. So, like any seance, though, I have to tell you, and they'll tell you this in the spiritual church, every seance is an experiment. We cannot guarantee that anybody will come through. I do have sometimes seances where nothing happens, and that's just part of it. So we'll see what happens tonight. I can't guarantee anybody will come. I don't know who's going to speak or who they'll speak to. So I can't promise anything. But I can say, I was always taught in the spiritual church that when we gather, just the effort to gather and open the door raises our vibration, and we're all better for it. So if nothing else tonight, if we don't get any or spirit people, at least we'll hopefully, have a good time anyways, hanging out with each other. So we'll see what happens. Well, I am so glad you're here. Anyways, we are going to settle down and go into trance. I think I'm going to bring down the lighting. When I do channeling, I like softer lighting. And so we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to take down the light here. I'm going to switch over to red light because as it gets darker, we'll be under the red light. There it is. All right, red light. Thank you, Glittery Rainbow. €5 donation. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Well, your support is always appreciated. Thank you. Well, I live by my work, so anything you guys throw my way, it's always appreciated. And I thank you in advance. During the seance, I will not be answering questions because I am not conscious. I'm just going to let them come through. They're going to do what they do. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I can't guarantee, as I said, anything. But I hope, that you'll have fun tonight. And, it's always interesting, always fascinating to see what the spirit people do. So just kick back, chillax, and let's make it a mystical evening, okay? There's Kate. Kate says, I can't wait to hear what they have to say. You know, Kate, I'm as amazed as all of you. When I'm in trance, see, I don't know what's coming through. So when I come back from trance, I don't know what's happened. So afterwards, I won't be able to answer questions about whatever they said because I have to go back and study the video because I don't know what happened until later. So hopefully it'll be good and interesting and we'll just see what happens. Okay. Anyways, you know, guys, try to remember this. Even if the spirit people don't give you a message, just the fact that you're able to be here and see them and hear them is a miracle. So we're all getting blessed. And just the fact that even one person might come through, excuse me, is always a blessing. So we'll just play it by ear and see what happens, okay? Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, the seance is one of my favorite shows. Well, thank you, Stardust. I'm glad you're here. The spirit people are so good, you know. I remember years ago, as I mentioned, the spiritualist church when I would go to seances, and it's some amazing mediums back in the day. A lot of them have retired or passed on now. So there's not a lot of mediums, at least in my area, that do trance. I'm one of the few. So I consider it a great honor and a privilege to be able to come here and to share that ability with you. Trance mediums are not as common these days. And so a lot of the younger mediums coming up don't even know what trance work is. I met a medium a few weeks ago. This guy's like, oh, I love your mediumship. And I said, what type of mediumship you do? And he says, oh, well, I'm a clairvoyant. I said, great. I said, do you ever do trance work? And he says, what's trance? I said, trance channeling, trance medium. He didn't know what I was talking about. So, you know, it's sad because I don't think you're seeing a lot of trance work these days. Lady Bree says, this is the first time I've attended a seance in over a month. Well, I haven't had a lot of seances lately, Bree. I've been so busy. It takes a lot of energy to channel, and I've just been distracted with a lot of stuff. Like last 2 weeks, really, was home repairs and stuff going on. I didn't get to do this. So we're here tonight, and hopefully something good will happen, okay? So there's William Rocker. Hey, that's Glenn. I love the work you do. God bless you, Glenn. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Well, I'm going to settle down and go into trance, and we'll see if anything happens. All right, so just keep an open heart and mind. Don't be mad at Psychic Bob if I don't give you a message. Remember, it's not me giving the messages tonight. It's just me being the visible channel, the physical channel, so they can manifest. So I don't control any of this. All right. All right, guys. Well, listen, God bless you. And I'm going to settle down. And we'll see you when we get back. And Baroness Cola Bobs, you're in charge, monitoring. Don't let any troublemakers and anybody who would break the circle tonight. All right. So you guys rock. Oh, yes. Thank you. Baroness Cola Bobs just put an announcement. I forgot. 3 spaces left for the private seance event on August. August 20, what's the date called? I'm just blanking out. August 25th? Hold on, let me find out what the date is. Because I forgot about to announce that. All right, so on Thursday, August 25th, I will be holding a private seance. It is limited to 10 people. It's going to be held on Zoom. See Baroness Cola Bobs, or if you can't reach her for whatever reason, contact me. We have 3 chairs left. That event is limited to only 10 people, so it's next month, but it's already about sold out. Our July event, which is an evening of psychic readings with Psychic Bob, is already sold out. So our July event is full. Our August event is almost full. I'd love to have you join our August event if you're interested. So anyways, thank you for being here. You guys rock. All right, guys. Oh, there's Amanda. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Amanda says, I'm so excited to be here. I did a mediumship practice today for the first time because of what you told me. Blessings. I saw a connect person for someone. Yay! See, Amanda's one of our budding mediums here. I love it, Amanda. Well, I'm glad you're here, Amanda. So tonight we're going to do trance mediumship. It's a little different than what you normally see. So everybody just relax, be open, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Thank you so very much. Blessings to all of you. All right, I'm going to settle down. I'll see when I get back. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're in the medium's body. Oh, top of the day to you. This is Fletcher. So good to be back with all of you here tonight. Well, I see a lot of people out there with a lot of soul glow around you. And I got to tell you, whenever we can come over, your help helps us to be here. The reason why is that when we want to come into this realm, into the physical realm, it takes a lot of power for us to manifest. And it's really a combination. We take a lot of power from the medium. We use our own power, but your power as well. You see, when you're gathered, you're united in the light, and we draw power from the light. So we're so happy that we can be here and that you can be here. And we hope that each of you here tonight be having a wonderful time visiting with us. We get so thrilled when we get a chance to come over from the spirit world. You know, over in our world, it's a realm of beauty, a realm of light. And I tell you, I almost didn't make it, you know. During my younger year, I was a bit of a hard-nosed one. I was a little skeptic, and I didn't even give much credence to God. I was what you might call a borderline atheist, you know. And I said, you know, I used to tell my auntie and my grandma, I used to say, well, don't believe in none of that spirit stuff. I think when you kick over, you're gone. And they said, oh, Fletcher, there's a heaven, you know, and a God that loves you. And I said, well, I don't rightly know, but we'll see someday. Well, I tell you, you know, there's a saying, there are no atheists on the battlefield. And when I found myself in the war, I was in World War I. I was on the battlefield in France. Well, that's what took me out. And I tell you, when I had heard that shell coming in, it was a shell flying in. I heard a whistling sound. And all I remember is the sound of a crash. And everything went black. And in that darkness, I saw a little light. And I was looking and it got brighter. And I said, what has happened? I thought I'd been blinded by the shell. And I said, oh, my eyes is damaged. But you know what happened? Well, I was on the edge of the spirit world. But I was kind of fearful. And inside of my heart, I said, well, I don't think I need to be going into that light. Somehow I knew, you know, when you die, even if you don't believe, somehow the truth comes to you. And I just knew. So what happened was I was looking at the light and it got larger and brighter. And then I thought, what could it be? Is it really a doorway? It looked like a doorway, I since, to another place, a tunnel light. Well, I was going through the tunnel to the other side, but I didn't know it. And I saw hands reaching down. Then I thought, oh, I'd fallen in a pit or something, right? I said, I must be underwater. I had some delusion in my mind. And the hands grabbed me and pulled me up into the light. And it was my grandma and my auntie who pulled me up into the light. And I said, where am I? What are you doing here? How'd you get on the battlefield? They said, Fletcher, you're not on the battlefield. You're in the spirit world. I said, I must be gone shell mad or something, you know, shell shock. I said, but I see you here clear as day and you look as solid. You ain't no ghost and paste, you know. I said, you're not. You're really dead. You died in the body and now you're here. I said, oh, don't be pulling it faster. I really must have been hit hard in the head, I said. But the fact of the matter was that I really did cross over to the other side. And that's why I'm here with you today. You know all about you, there are souls. They be reaching across the divide. I would have, on my own, been left in the darkness. I didn't have any faith, didn't ever say a prayer. And I suppose I did a few on the battlefield, but they were more what you might call cursing prayers. You know what I mean? Not the politest sort of prayer. And I didn't do much in my life. You know, I was rather more about this world, about the material world. I wanted to drink beer. I wanted to have a fling or two. I wanted to be the man about town. Oh, didn't give a lot of care to my soul. I had no time for church and none of that spirit talk. Didn't believe in none of that. But you see, it doesn't so much matter what you believe. It's about your heart and how it's attuned. And my heart, well, was a little hardened, a little cold in my life. And I tell you, it was the mercy of the spirits. It was my auntie and my grandma who pulled me over into the light. And if they hadn't been there, I think I would have dwelled in the darkness. Don't be like me. Don't walk around being all hard-nosed. Say, well, I don't know. Prove it to me. It's not going to get you nowheres. So have a little faith. Try to love. Over here, one of the things I learned when I come over was that it's love. And I've got to say, I come up a bit short in my life. I was more about myself than about loving others. Well, anyways, I won't be here preaching at you and all, because we got other people who want to be speaking. But I want to just tell you thank you for letting me ramble on a bit. And I've got others I want to come in, so I'll be stepping from the body. This is Fletcher. Over now. Greetings. My name is Alfred. I've listened to the words of Fletcher, and they are words of truth. There are many souls who cross over here to the spirit world who are not prepared for life in our world. You see, our world is a world of light and of goodness. And over here, it's not about what you believe. There are many people walking about the earth today saying, well, I believe this and I know, and I believe that and I know. Your beliefs mean not much here. What happens in your earthly life is that as you love, as you grow towards spirit, your spirit body is formed, or I should say grown in the light. It's already formed, but it grows. And every day on earth, you can grow towards the light, or you can walk away from it. It is true that God, or we use the term infinite intelligence, gives humanity free will. You are free to believe or disbelieve as you will, but you will not escape the reality of your own soul's journey and progress, or lack thereof. Every day you make choices, and the choices you make impact your very soul. Many of your choices also impact those around you, and so your kindness to others will aid them in their own growth. Or if you behave with a cruel manner, in a disaffectionate manner, what will happen is that you will hurt others, and you could be the very cause of their tumbling backwards on their spiritual journeys. The human life is not one of, I should say, humor. It does have its humorous moments, but the soul journey itself is no trifling matter. It is the things of which eternity are made. And so I invite each of you to contemplate. Are you growing in the light, or are you walking away? How have you loved in your life? How have you loved spirit? How have you loved your neighbor? How have you loved those that are your enemies? Jesus said one must love one's enemies. And this is a true aphorism. For if one loves, but tries to love, even those who are difficult to love, the growth of the soul is immense. It does not mean to love your enemy that you must allow them in your life to destroy you, but it does mean choosing not to be destructive towards them. And if you choose kindness and compassion over destruction, you have made great progress. Anyhow, I should wish to echo Fletcher's words that our world is a realm of light, and your presence here brings us all very much joy. When we have the opportunity to visit with you, we have great anticipation. We know that there are souls here this evening who are waiting for an opportunity for growth. You do not need to wait any further. Our presence here tonight is the evidence that you need. Your soul knows truth, and you know that we come from the other world to your world. Be open to our presence. Call upon us and we shall come to you. I do hope you will remember me. Do reach out to me when you can. My name is Alfred. Oh, this is Fletcher. Give us just a moment. We have to adjust the medium's frequency. We've got somebody else here who wants to be speaking at you. Well, you know, I said you can't die for the life of you. Oh, so many people be calling me up. They say, Doris, I'm scared to die. And I say, what are you afraid of? Love, you can't die. You know, when I was a young girl, my dad died, my father died. And I remember being very sad. But you know, shortly after his death, he appeared to me. He came through. I was in my bedroom and I saw him as large as life, standing there. And he said, Doris, it's your father. And I said, Father, it's really you, you're here. And he said, oh, don't tell your mother, she'll be in a tiff over it. And the truth is, my mother, she was not a believer in spiritualism. She didn't believe in nothing. But I knew. And as seeing my father after death gave me great comfort and made me understand that you really do live beyond the body. You know, some of you here tonight, you'll say, Doris, I still don't believe in life after death. I ain't seen no spirit yet. Oh, love, don't always just look with your eyes. Look with your heart. Can't you feel the presence here? Sometimes the spirits will come to you not only in your sight, but in your heart. And sometimes you hear the little whisper. My dad, I heard his voice. It wasn't very loud, you know. He didn't shout across the room. It was a whisper. But he said, Doris, and I knew. I said, blimey. And he said, don't tell your mother. It'll send her upset. Get all upset. I said, but Father, if only she could see you like I. He said, she won't see me. She's not open to it. Some of you here tonight, you just got to open your hearts. You just got to open your hearts. Just say, all right, I suppose there could be another world. If you just try, we'll come to you and help you. And we all think that death's such a big thing, but it ain't. You know, the trick is to maneuver through life is to not forget who you are. You're all spirits here, all of you. You're spirits, you come from heaven, you're going to go back to heaven. Don't be worrying about it. But in the meantime, just love everybody you can. You know, I loved my husband, John. He was a good man, he was. My mom almost wrecked that one, didn't she? But you know, the Guidance in my Father throughout my life helped me. So have a little faith. Don't be worrying about it. And like I always say, you can't die for the life of you. Everyone's going to make it. So make it a fun time. Crossing over to our world isn't hard, but you got to relax into it, you know. I remember the day that I died. Well, I got a little bit of a headache, and then my head started spinning around and around, and then I just passed on over. It was a stroke that took me out. I tell you, not the best way to go. I was a little dizzy when I got over here. I said, blimey. I said, that's a way to leave the earth, wasn't it? But I got over here, and you'll get over here one way or another. It's not always the most pleasant ride, but don't worry about it. You'll get over it soon enough. Well, I just want to pop in and say hello. And I do hope you'll remember me. My name is Doris Stokes. And just if you can't remember that, just remember I'm the crazy lady from East London. Well, I think somebody else wants to come. Thank you for having me come over and visit with you. Oh, this is Fletcher. Give us just a moment. We've got somebody else we want to come in here. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Can you hear me there? Oh, I'm so pleased to be here with all of you. Your kindness, your love is what brings us here every week. It's been a little while since I've had the opportunity to come through and speak to all of you, but I will not forget you. So many of you here are dear to my heart. You know, when Fletcher was telling his story about his crossing over to heaven, to the spirit world, it reminded me of my own journey. Fletcher was so fortunate that he had those who loved him and brought him into the light. I had many opportunities to cross through the light in my own life, or I should say my afterlife. Do you know I pushed away angels? Do you know glorious beings of light, angels reside over here? And they came to me and said, Rose, come, let us lead you home. Beautiful beings, my dear. You cannot imagine the glory of an angel. And do you know what I said? Away with you. I don't know who you are. Don't talk to me. I'm a member of the nobility. I'm a lady. Do not speak to me. Oh, my dear, can you imagine the nerve that I must have had to speak to an angel like that? I was caught up in my own self-importance and a grand self-aggrandizement. It didn't do me well, my dear. I wandered in that place of outer darkness for quite a long time. Over here at the spirit world, time is very different. And so hundreds of years may go by, and yet there is no time. And yet sometimes it is as if there is all time. Oh, my dear, I don't know how to explain it to you, except to say someday when you come here, you'll understand it all. But while I'm here, I tell you, I wish to say a few words to a few people, if you allowed me. My dear Laura M., my dear, I won't give your last name for your privacy, but I'm so thrilled, my dear, to see you here this evening. Do you know, I called you today and I said, Laura, I'm here near you. Perhaps you felt my presence, dear. I've been around you for the last week as you've been going through a lot of changes. Do not fear. Those of us who guide you from the spirit world will make everything smooth out, and you'll see next week things will be even more peaceful and a little more ordered, shall we say. I don't want you to be worrying so much, my dear. You'll get caught up in your mind. And you'll say, what about this? What about that? And you'll rush about thinking if you work faster, if you do more, somehow things will be better. No, my dear, this is not the way you must conduct yourself. I want you, my dear, to take things slowly. You're not breathing, my dear. Breathe deeply. You see, the life is in the breath. And when you are nervous and anxious, you do not breathe fully. This is a challenge for all humans. And our medium, we even remind him of it at times. Sometimes when he's deep in trance, we say, you must breathe. Well, you see, though we dominate his physical body, he still must do his part. And so we monitored his vital signs. We share this information with you, for you have not been breathing properly, my dear. And if you do that, you'll have a sense of clarity and calm. And I dare say your psychic senses will be a little sharper, my dear. Dear Laura, thank you for receiving my message this evening. I do hope I have not overstepped my bounds, my dear, and said anything offensive. It's just that we of the spirit world are so very eager to come, and it's a very rare opportunity that we get to come and speak with you. And I do hope, my dear, that you will receive the message in the spirit in which it was intended. My dear, thank you. Do call upon me. Say, Rose, and I shall be there, my dear, fast as light. Well, I leave that with you, my dear, and I thank you for receiving me. Yes, Fletcher. Fletcher says I may deliver a few more words here while I'm here. The power is sufficient tonight. I should like to come to my dear friend Marjana. Marjana, my dear, may I come today and share some thoughts with you, my dear? It would do my heart good to speak with you. Now, my dear, I wish to let you know that I have been around your family recently. Your mother has been a bit stubborn, my dear, but I'm so very thankful for your love and concern. Do know by your love you have shown for your mother and your father. You are building your soul in light. But, my dear, do not forget to love yourself as well. Your desire to be of service to your family is admirable and very noble, my dear. But you must preserve your energy for you. For, dear Marchand, you're at a transition point. And in the next few months, you will have opportunities to do some radical life changes. We invite you to be open to our guidance on this. You see, up to now, you've been worrying every day how to make the bills work, how to make things stretch as they will. My dear, more prosperity is coming to you, but you must let us into your life. You must let us help you. You have opportunities coming to move into a better position. You only have to have one job, not three. Holding so many jobs, my dear, scatters one and prevents one from growing spiritually. Wouldn't it be nice to have only one job? And then you would have your evenings to devote to your spiritual development. Those of us here in the spirit world do not mind your concern and prayers about financial matters. When you live in the physical world, you must have money. It is simply a fact, my dear. And so do not feel guilty about asking us for such help, for we are glad to assist you. But we would like you to make your spiritual life a greater focus. And the only way, my dear, to do that is to let go all of the worries about the financial things. If you will let us help you, we will lead you in the proper time into a new position that will have more money for you. And it is not hard for us to assist you, but you must be open to our leadings and guidance. So, my dear, know that you can call on us, and do call upon me. I think of you as a dear friend, my dear. Just say, Rose, and I shall hear you. You see, the great mystery is that people think that to speak to the spirit world requires great mystical power and training, my dear. My dear, to speak to us is no different than calling up on a telephone. You know, when I had a beautiful home in Mayfair, I had every room with a telephone. Well, I suppose that's a bit excessive, isn't it? But I love to talk to people, and I was always fascinated with telephones. I know it's a bit strange, I suppose, but it was one of my things, my dear. But you can speak to him as easily as speaking on the telephone. Just call upon me, my dear, and I shall be there. I do thank you for receiving this message, my dear. Hold on just a moment. This is Fletcher. We have to stabilize the frequency. There's so much power flowing tonight. We don't wish to damage the medium's nervous system. Oh, there we go. Well, I think Rose has a few more words. Hello, my dears. This is Rose. Can you hear me? I wish to speak briefly to Lady Nicola. My dear, this is Rose, and I'm here to just let you know that you're not alone. I know right now things are topsy-turvy around you. But you know, in my life, one of my gifts, and I must say I did do some good in the world, is that I was able to be a peacemaker. Do you know, many times when a war was about to break out, I tell you, before the years of World War II, there would have been other wars in the world had I not intervened. I used to invite various ambassadors to my home, and over cocktails and dinner, I would get them setting aside their differences and really talking to each other. And so I'm coming here today to let you know that even though at times you feel alone, you feel nobody's your friend, you've got a friend in me, and I shall help you with the communications so that things will be easier for you. I will help you communicate to your apartment management. I shall help you communicate to other people in your building. My dear, there will be others coming soon, and you will be a light to them. And I shall help you, my dear. Don't be afraid to ask for my help. Just a moment. Yes. Hold on, someone else is here, wishes to speak. I think I'm in the body. Can you hear me, lady? Lady Nicola, is Doris here? Hi, love. So good to be here with you again. I couldn't help but pop in here. I heard you've been wanting to speak with me. And so the message got over to me. And I want to let you know that I'm going to be helping you. Now, you've been a little overwhelmed with them earthbounds, but don't be worrying about it. I'll be helping you with it. You see, you've done a great service for those of us who work with them. And I've helped a plenty of soul myself. And we're going to make it easier for you. So don't worry. I'm bringing some healing to the body as well. You've been under so much stress, you feel like your whole body's falling apart. But we'll give you a little strength from the spirit world. Remember what I always say, you can't die for the life of you. All right? And all your concern, you be worrying about this and worrying about that. Dear, you can't be changing anything by worry. You got to just give it up to God. You know, my mother, for all her negativity and her borderline atheism, she used to say during the war years, well, I guess we got to give it up to God. And I think that was a great way to say it. So I'm just telling you, you got to give it up to God. Now, if that seems a little hard for you, don't worry, I'll help you with it. But know that I'm going to be helping you with your sleep cycle. It's been a little off. You've been having some problems here. And we're going to be soothing that stomach area for you. And my dear, if I can be a little blunt with you, don't think them acidic things is working for you so well. So you might want to watch that diet, a little less tomato, and a little less, well, you know, some of them juices you drink, them acidic juices, not the best for you. A little more water, my dear, in your day. would do you well. So we'll be helping remind you of that. But know that you're not alone. And those people, they got some people be running their mouth and all. Well, we all have to deal with that, don't we? When I was in my younger years, during the war, when we were being bombed in the East End, it was a frightful thing. There was a neighbor that I had, a young lady, walking about. Now, you'd think she was the Queen of England or something, because she walked around in a fur coat, even in the summertime. And she wanted to impress us how important she was. And when my neighbor's house got bombed, we all were in there pitching out, digging out the rubble, trying to save the china and check on the children and all. And she'd be walking around. She said, I don't dig through rubble. I'm too important. And we said, you think you're so much, don't you? But guess what happened? Hitler hit her house. And you know what? We could have just left her, but we were kind to her, even though she didn't deserve it. And when we went to visit her, she broke down in tears. She said, why are you nice to me after I looked down my nose at all of you? And we said, it's because what we do, we're good people. And we said, you can be a good person also. So even though right now things around you are topsy-turvy with some of them people that you live near, just remember this, that in the end, you'll be the better person and the bigger person. And the person who's been giving you all the tears, they'll be having the tears. Just be your best self, my dear, and you'll be fine. Well, I think Rose wants to come back, so I'll be stepping out of the medium's body. This is Doris Stokes. Hello, my dears. Can you hear me? Hold on a moment. I'll start in. I'm trying to come through, but the power's starting. Fletcher, can you help? Oh, just a moment here. This is Fletcher. We're having a little connection with Rose issue here. So we just got to raise the vibration. There we go, my dears. Oh, I think you can hear me now. Oh, I do so apologize. It was a very complex process for us to come over and to take control of the medium. You see, it's a combination of affecting the nervous system and the muscular control. And it's kind of like balancing jello on a slick plate, to put it in a better way. Well, I do think we're here. I should like to also speak a few words tonight to some of the rest of you here. My dear friend and lovely lady, Miss Kimmy, my dear Kim, can you hear me? You know, my dear, you've also been through a very rough time recently. And those of us who in the spirit world, we know of your struggles on the earth. We invite you to have a little more faith, my dear. We have somebody here who would like to speak to us tonight. And so I shall be letting him come through. Fletcher, will you assist bringing the spirit through? Just a moment, my dear. It's going to take a moment for the medium's frequency to be able to be adjusted. Yes, Fletcher, it's a difficult one. Hello, Kimmy. Kimmy, this is your daddy. I'm here, sugar. Honey, it is not your time to come over here to the spirit world. You know, you did a lot of prayers for me, and I'm in the light now. I'm with God because you had the faith that I didn't have. That faith, dear, is going to get you through. It's going to strengthen you. I know you think you're at the end of your rope, but you ain't. When I had to come over here, I had a lot of fear. But your prayers helped me to see the light. You got to pray for yourself, dear, as hard as you pray for me. Now I'm praying for you now. I'll pay back the favor. I can't stay here long. They're saying it's hard for the medium to let me come through. But I want to tell you I love you, honey, and you're going to be all right. Don't be holding on that fear. It ain't getting you nowhere. You pray for me, and I'm praying for you now. You know your daddy's in heaven. Where else would I be? If you couldn't get me over by your prayers, who would have got me over? I love you, honey. Just hang in there. You're going to make it. It ain't your time to go. Don't you be thinking it ain't your time. The next few months, you're going to see a lot of healing. I've been talking to the angels. You've got help coming, dear. Just trust me. I'm praying for you, darling. I love you. There we go, my dear. Oh, Kimmy, my dear. Just such a joy that we could bring your father through for you. We weren't sure it would be possible tonight, but it takes a lot of power for us to bring through spirits that are not adjusted to the medium's frequency. But he came for a little while. We're very thrilled and we're very thankful for our medium allowing us to use his body in this way. My dear, you know that you have a powerful ally over here in your father, and I shall be your ally and advocate as well. May the peace of God be with you, my dear. Thank you for receiving our messages. This is Fletcher. Hold on just a moment. There we go, my dears. I do hope my voice is transmitting to all of you. Lady Brianna, are you here this evening? I thought I picked up your frequency among the crowd. You know, my dear, you so remind me of my neighbor. Her name was Lady Brianna, just like you. And you even look like her, my dear. I dare say you might even be her reincarnation. But I have seen her over here, so I don't think you are, my dear. But I tell you could be sisters who look so alike. Lady Brianna, I'm here to remind you today to not give up. You've been struggling with anxiety and depression, my dear. Feeling a little trapped, my dear, a little worried about things. Do you know those of us who reside here in the spirit world? We see the light around people. And we know the deeper thoughts, the deeper things that occur. We also know, my dear, that you're ready for some changes. And if you hold on to your faith, it's very challenging to have faith in this world, isn't it? I didn't do so well myself. But, my dear, you'll have many souls here to help you. Lady Nimue is here, and she's asked me to let you know she is waiting for you. She says the words, I am at the water's edge. Fletcher says the medium's frequency is not strong enough to let her through at this time, so I shall relay her words to you. But she wishes you to know that she has not forgotten you, and she walks with you each step of the way. She says, remember, my dear, when you were in Avalon, and you do have a life there, my dear. She said, you were a priestess, and she said, a priestess is not only a mystic, but also very practical. And Lady Nimue wishes to let you know that she said, you will have the material things that you need in order to fulfill your spiritual journey. So do not worry about the money right now, my dear. It's coming and you will see in the next 2 months financial blessing. Lady Nimue wishes for you to meet with her each day, if only for a few moments. She will bring to you blessings from Avalon. And that's the message she asked me to bring over, my dear. I do hope that you could understand that. Do you know, many times when we come from the spirit world and we have to relay messages, sometimes we relay messages of others. We're not always sure we get them right, my dear, but I gave it my best go, and I do hope that you understood it. But apart from Lady Nimue, know, dear Lady Brianna, that I'm also going to be an assist to you. You'll see, my dear, one of my gifts was that I got people together. I was good at negotiating peace treaties between countries. I moved in diplomatic circles. I also was a leader in industry and in finance. And so I sat on the board of my father's bank and other companies that our family owned. And so I'm quite good at negotiating. And I think I can negotiate a new job for you, my dear, to allow you a greater freedom and a greater peace and a little more money in the pocket each month. So if you will let me help with that matter, I, along with Lady Nimue, shall come and help you. I do hope, my dear, you won't mind. And I don't wish to intrude in your private business, my dear. But we do see that you're ready for a blessing, and we wish to help you. Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you for receiving me, my dear. Yes, my dear. Fletcher might have. Right. Fletcher's told me that I can bring over something else here. I would like to speak to my dear friend, Amanda Jane. Amanda Jane, my dear, this is Rose. Can you hear me, my dear? I want to say, first of all, let go of your fear, my dear. Though you have been challenged recently, you shall be healed soon, my dear. Those who wish to create havoc in your world shall be scattered like flies and sawdust. It is a time for you, my dear, to return to the true power that you know. That is the power of the light within. You've had many lifetimes as a powerful witch, my dear, a good witch, a white witch. You'll come back to this earth to again do magic. How can you do your mission to heal others if you yourself are not healed? And so those of us who reside over here in the spirit world, we're coming to bring healing to you, my dear. Alfred and Fletcher and I come to let you know that when it seems all dark, this world is conspiring against you, the power of the light shall be around you. Your enemies shall not devour you, and your body will not betray you. You feel recently as if your body has let you down, and that your illness will consume you. My dear, do you not know that the white light of the spirit world can cure anything? You must draw that light to you. And so I come to impart the light of the spirit to you today. And know that you are greatly loved over here. Though as much as we love you over here in heaven, there's not your time to come, my dear, and we shan't let you. So you're going to have some strength and some healing, and your mission on the earth shall go forward. Your children's prayers for you help very much. They pray while they're asleep. They don't even know they pray. Do you know, my dear, that the soul prays oftentimes when the mind is not even aware of it? And so yourself must enter into prayer. Make it your intent to commune with us at night during your sleep. And we will be able to bring more light over to you. My dear, thank you for receiving this message from me. I send you my blessings. this is Fletcher. Just give us a moment. I think Rose has something else to say. Well, my dears, I wish to also come here. For those of you tonight who have not been able to personally address, I bring this message to each of you. You are not alone. I can come and help you, and all of the spirits of the spirit world are available. Call upon me, and I will bring to you your own guide. Everyone has a spirit guide, though most people walking about the earth are clueless. It is because the veil is put over you. It is difficult enough on the earth, but if you could remember and have full conscious connection to the spirit world, you should be so homesick that you would never enjoy your life here. And so though at times you feel a longing and an emptiness and a loneliness, know that we who reside in the light will come to you in those moments of darkness. You walk not alone, but those of us bring to you the truth that you need at the time you need it. We bring to you our love. If you think no one loves you, my dear, you have at least two people. You have me, you also have your own guide, and your guardian angel. So you walk not alone. I should say there are three, the angel, the guide, and myself at least. And the truth is, my dear, many more come to you as well. I thank you for receiving this message and have confidence in our world. If our worlds, your world and our world, work together, great things can be accomplished. And so I leave that hope with you, my dears. Yes, Fletcher says the power is starting to wane. I shall not overstrain our medium's nervous system. But, my dears, I thank you for receiving me. And as the power goes, know that I shall come again to you. Listen for my voice, and it will be a whisper that will come to you. You need not fear. Those of us who reside should come. Oh. 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 Give me just a second, guys. So lightheaded. Whew, that was intense tonight. I felt a lot of power coming through. All right, I think I'm back. Did anybody come through? I hope somebody felt like somebody came through. It looks like Rose is here. Lady Bridget says, bye, Rose. Angela Blanc says, bye, Miss Rose. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Lauren says, thank you, Rose. Isgingy says, thank you, spirits, for taking the effort into giving us insight. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, this has been so nice. Guys, I have so enjoyed sitting with you tonight. I hope that this has been of help to you. And anyways, thank you for being here. Well, I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape because I don't know what they did. But hopefully, so it looks like at least Rose came through. Robin Boston says, many good messages tonight. Thank you, Bob and Nicola. Thank you, Robin. Austin ADM says, such a great experience to watch. Thank you so much. You guys are great. Well, I'm very thankful for the spirit people who channel through me. Volcanic Guy says, thanks for a beautiful show. It was very healing, Cole and Bob. Thank you, Volcanic Guy. Stardust C says, but there's some good news here. Somebody else's message. Okay. Angela Blanc says, it was beautiful. I was in awe. Had happy tears. Thank you, Angela. God bless you. Wow. Stardust says, hey, PsychicBob, I got a message from Rose. Oh, I'm so glad. Baroness Kolobob said, you brought Rose and Doris through for me, babes. It was, babes, but I don't know what you said. LOL. I'll have to go back and watch it. You know, it sounds funny because when I used to go to seances, I would be so awestruck when the spirits would come through. I was so kind of overwhelmed. I couldn't absorb it all. So those days we used to have tape recorders. Y'all remember? Because we used to tape record so we could listen to them later. Anyways. Angela Blanc says, where do you go when they're there? I'm just like floating. I feel like I'm sleeping. The way I describe my channeling is, have you ever like been watching a movie, like lying on the sofa watching a movie, but you're falling asleep and you hear the dialogue like in the background, but you're not really connected? That's what's like. It's like I'm dozing and I'm half there, and I sometimes I hear snippets come through. Like I did hear Rose briefly. That's all I remember. But when I come through, I don't really know what happened. So that's, I don't know how to describe it. That's kind of how it's like that. Is Gingy says, sounds oddly peaceful. It is peaceful. That's when I started first learning to trance channel, I was scared of it because I thought, I don't know, what's the spirits come in, what they hurt me, what it's going to take over my body. And when I let it happen, when I let the spirits come through, I was really scared. And when I came back from my first time I ever trance channel, I was like, I felt so good. I felt so refreshed. And the people at the seance I was at said it was amazing. Now, I didn't know what had happened. That's the part that's weird for me. It's like stuff's going on. I don't know about it, you know? So I suppose it is relaxing. Thank you, William Rocker. William Rocker says, great seance tonight. Very powerful evening. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Good to see you. MJS Breezy said, did you ever read the Seth book series? Yes, years ago, back in the 80s, I read Seth. It's been a long, long time. But Jane Roberts was the medium who channeled Seth. And it's pretty amazing stuff, you know. Austin says, have you ever met your guides on the astral plane? Yeah, I have actually, yes. I don't often meet them there, but sometimes they come through. Volcanic Ice said, I just thought I was falling asleep till Bob explained. I was trance channeling. Yeah, Volcanic Ice, you're definitely a trance channel. I already knew that about you. But I think that's cool. Austin ADM says, oh my God, have you read the Law of One series too? No, I'm not familiar with that, Austin. I'll have to look that up. I haven't read that, no. Kimmy says, I'm expecting a miracle from God. Well, just pray, right? You know. Isgingi says, always a delight chatting with you through these videos. Well, thank you, Isgingi. I enjoy being with all of you. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm a little tired, and I still have to do some other work tonight. But anyways, Baroness Kolobob's just put in chat. Visit my website, PsychicBob.com, for one-on-one readings, compact voice readings, and psychic development. By the way, there's still openings for this Saturday's class. So visit my website, and you can register over there for my psychic development class. This Saturday, we're going to continue working on how to open your channel safely without receiving terrifying experiences and trauma. So if you want to learn how to do psychic work in a safe way that's not scary, that's helpful, you want to join our Saturday psychic development class. It's $30. You can pay for it over at my website. It's 2 hours. Now, this is not a class where you just sit and take notes and hide out in the background. It's interactive, so everybody in the class works together, and I will work with each of you one-on-one. That's why I limit it to 30 people, because if it gets bigger than that, I can't really give personal attention to people. So if you want to be in on that class, you don't have to have previous experience. I make each class so that you can come in and start learning from where you are. Please register because it will fill up. We're running pretty full most weeks now. So go over to PsychicBob.com and register. It's only $30. It will send me a notice to my email once you pay, and I'll put you on the list. And on Saturday morning, I'll send out the Zoom link. It's going to be on Zoom. Don't worry, you don't have to know how to work Zoom or download it. It automatically does it through your email. When you click on the link, it'll load it and take you there. It's all very simple. Thank you, Volcanic Ice. Volcanic Ice says the classes are really great. I totally recommend them. Thank you, Volcanic Ice. Volcanic Ice has been in a number of classes, yes, and a regular. MJS Breezy says, I can't wait to attend your development classes. I'd love to have you there, MJS Breezy. Every Saturday we meet. It meets at 12 o'clock noon. This is 12 Eastern, I should say. 12 o'clock noon Eastern time. So that's 12 Eastern, 11 Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific for those of you in North America. For those of you in Europe, it's 5 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. Paris/continental time. So I'd love to have you guys join us on Saturday. We have a lot of fun. Lady Bree just says, I'll be at this week's class also. Yay. Good, Lady Bree. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. You guys rock. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Big shout out again to our wonderful Baroness Goldbobs, our moderator. Thank you, Baroness, for your service and keeping us all safe tonight and having fun with us. It was great. Austin ADM says, could you make a video on mediumship development? You know, Austin, that's a really good idea. I think I should do that to introduce people to the concept that you can develop mediumship. A lot of people think that you just have to be born a medium, and that's not true. A lot of people that don't think they have mediumship do discover they have it, and as they develop it, it grows. So I think that's a great idea. I'll explore that. Thank you for that insight, that suggestion. I will do that. All right. Thank you, Angela Blanc. Says, blessings to Bob and all. Blessings. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. You guys are right. You're welcome, Baroness. You love you too, darling. Thank you for your support. All right. Thank you, Austin. Good idea. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Psychic Bob loves you. Make sure to be here tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday? What do we got? Oh, live psychic readings tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do live readings. Bring your psychic questions. I'll answer your questions tomorrow. We want to see you. It'll be 7 p.m. same time as tonight's program. Be here live. Bring your questions. We'll see what the spirit guides have. You guys rock. I love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow. And until then, may the spirits bless all of you. Blessed be.